it seems to be whenever there's some crazy weather going on, Craig McCain's on the set. It's good to see you, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as far as agriculture is concerned, they've seen a significant amount of rain, and we still got a month left for storm season. What's going on now?
Well, look, first of all, let me set the record straight. Carl Rippey is responsible for the weather.
That ain't right.
Not me.
That ain't right.
Okay.
Okay.
But I do like to talk about it.
Yeah,
okay?
you do, and I mean it has an important factor in what's going on right now.
Absolutely. That's the reason I like to talk about it,
Sure.
because agriculture is dependent upon the weather, as everybody knows. And as we were talking in the break, and as we've talked in some of the spots in previous months, wow, what a year we've been on this year, you know. And we are seeing significant rain. The good news, there's good and bad news in any time you have a significant weather event. The good news is that we had a relatively dry fall. Frankly, detrimentally dry in the sense that we were in a D3 drought stage in, I think, 10 or 11 parishes in the state, and D2, which is the second level of drought, in about 20-something more. And so, you know, we even spurned a disaster declaration as a result of those droughts.
Okay.
But the benefit was that we had a very dry harvest season.
Right.
And so, you know, we were fortunate in that regard, in that most folks were able to get out their crops. They were able to harvest them when a crop gets to the final stage of maturity. That's when it's most vulnerable, and that's when it's most delicate. And so, in that regard, the dry fall that we had, extremely dry fall, was good. The other side of that is that, you know, we had a lot of field work done, a lot of land prepared for next year, and so now this rain, in most cases, would be beneficial from an agricultural standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, if you go into Southern Rapids, Boyles, Point Capee, St. Landry, and then on down to the coast, producers are still trying to harvest sugarcane.
Yeah.
And they're trying to do it in the mud. It's adding cost to their harvest. It's adding cost to their transportation. Okay. And frankly, in some places, it may create some hazardous roadways as they enter and leave the road. So I didn't always remind motorists, be careful if you're in a rural area and cane harvest is underway.
Yeah. Let's go switch gears to some disaster programs.
Well, you know, like I just said, the drought monitor recorded in some terms in recent history some historical drought in the state, and that triggered some automatic triggers that allow livestock producers to receive benefit through a program called the Livestock Forage Program. And it's, simply put, it's a program intended to mitigate the cost of feeding livestock, because honestly and frankly, in a big area of the state, there was no forage available for livestock. And so, especially in the Red River Valley, we talked about early, if you remember, in May and June, we talked about historic flooding. Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of those pastures along the valley went underwater. They stayed underwater for several weeks, and then when they came back and the water receded, they immediately went into drought. Wow. And so, in all honesty, you can go into Natchitoches, Red River, into Caddo, and you'll find some pastures that have absolutely no forage available for livestock. So just as a general reminder, producers who own livestock and who are interested, basically in simple terms, if you're north of I-10 all the way to the Arkansas line, you should contact your local FSA office. I don't want to promise somebody something that they might not be eligible for, but I think they need to talk to their local FSA office and find out what their opportunity is.
Just to get prepared,
Absolutely.
For sure. All right, well, thanks so much for always giving us the best information.
Thank you.
We'll be